Hello and welcome to a rather special Sunday repeated on Wednesday program, and this is
the Mojo Hand, the winning boys magic.
Marge, this ticket doesn't just give me a seat. It also gives me the right, no, the duty to make a complete ass of myself.
But as for me, I'm off to battle aliens on a faraway planet.
Hello, operator, give me the number for 911.
Who sent you here? Can't talk, little man? Bet can't play none either.
I could pull a better cartoon out of my ass. Hey, whoa! Wasn't that great, kid?
Oh, bitch.
Kill my boss! Do I dare live out the American dream?
Oh, overload. Pleasure overload.
Uh-oh. 2 independent thought alarms in one day.
Good morning, wood ticks and patriots. Welcome to the show. We have a lot to talk about today. Yes, we do. And, of course, you're going to get your news here from Lake Wish I Be Gone at the bunker and the Just Jim Show. I can't believe all the stuff that keeps happening. I guess I can, because the wood ticks are loose. It's the inmates running the show. It just keeps going on and on and on. Anyway, we're going to start off today with, we're kind of going all over the place. I got so much to talk about. Not a lot of time to talk about it, but we're going to talk on some really asinine things. What I consider to be over the edge, but what they are all diversions. And you know what diversions are? Take your eye off the target to do other things while other things are going on in the back of the room. I see Starbucks has finally woken up. Right here, we got a story. Starbucks, the woke company of the future. At least that's what they would like you to think. And now, guess what they're going to do? In the old days, who could have predicted this? Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz said last week the coffee chain may end its policy of allowing the general public to use its restrooms. Can you believe that, wood ticks? You're not going to be able to use a bathroom, let alone with a he, she, it, they, we, sign on the door. Not in Starbucks anymore, buddy. If you want to use their pisser, you got to buy a coffee. $7, $9 coffee. Whatever it is that they charge, that's what it's going to cost you to use their bathroom. While speaking at a forum hosted by the New York Times last Thursday, Schultz disclosed that one of the biggest problems facing Starbucks employees today is mental health and store safety. What? Store safety? What's the problem? They walk in, they pull it out, they do their thing, and they leave. What's not safe about that? Other than you don't make any money doing it. and your sewer bills go up. We serve 100 million people at Starbucks, and there's an issue of just safety in our stores in terms of people coming in who use our stores as a public bathroom. Well, you're a public business. What they do? Clog the toilets? Use the urinals? We don't need to buy a coffee is just a suggestion. We have to provide a safe environment for our people and our customers. Well, you got a public outhouse there, don't you? We got them all over the place here at Lake Wish I Be Gone. We got a lot of woods. That's where we go. What's the background? Announced May of 2018 that bathrooms inside its coffee shops across the country would be open for anyone to use, whether or not they're paying customers. Just put a quarter slot by the door. Make them pay. Who cares? Penny. Charge them a penny. If they're being used that much, you're going to make a lot of money. We don't want to become a public bathroom, but we're going to make the right decision 100% of the time and give people the key. Well, now you need a key. Just put $100 deposit down on the key, because I know a lot of you would take the keys home because you got walls, collections of keys. The company enacted a policy after 2 black men were denied use of Starbucks bathroom in Philadelphia. Oh, God, the city of brotherly love. And biolabs and Planned Parenthood baby parts. What do you know about that? That'd be Mr. Lassery and his wife. The men never ordered anything. When they did not leave the shop, an employee called the police, and the men were arrested for trespassing. A public building, and they're trespassing. Gotta love it when a plan comes together. No criminal charges were filed against them, and they eventually reached a settlement with Starbucks. But the incidents triggered a national boycott of Starbucks. Here you go, wood ticks. You gotta protect those $8 cups of coffee, don't you? Yeah. It's about as asinine as protecting Home Depot and their policies. Oh, I'm in it today. Man, you can't make it up. Although I did stay up late last night and tried to make it up. I don't know. I have no idea what happened. I really don't. But I just, and on the tails of that one, we got sheriffs issue warning to not pick up any folded money. I had a picture of it, but I don't remember what it was, where it went. I don't have that. Nope. Sorry, can't show you the picture. Had a picture of a $100 bill folded up. Sheriff deputies in Tennessee are warning the public about folded dollar bills. Well, it really was 100. Left on the ground with fentanyl tucked inside. Oh, remember last show we talked about dance clubs, people getting pricked with needles, injected with some stuff? If you didn't listen to the show, maybe you ought to just circle back, like P. Saki says. Circle back. The Giles County Sheriff's Department said 2 separate incidences were reported at one local gas station. When the powder inside was tested, fentanyl and methamphetamines were found. This is a very dangerous issue, Giles County Sheriff's Department posted on Facebook. You know, Facebook has become the unofficial, official press release for government agencies and elected officials. And you want to know something? When you ask through an FOIA or to see their computers that they're typing the shit on, what do they say? Oh, I don't have to show you that. That's my personal computer. How about that? I won't say it, but I'll give you a quarter. Oh, God. Please share and educate your children not to pick up any folded money they may find in or around businesses, playgrounds, without using great caution and even alerting a parent or guardian. Obviously, turn the greed factor off. Sheriff's Department included a post of a photo of a small amount of white powder next to a penny to show how such a small amount of fentanyl can be deadly. And you all know that. If you don't know it, that stuff is getting put in all sorts of things, mail order drugs, the whole 9 yards. So, hey, be careful out there. And stay within a legal limited circle of people that take care of you and take care of yourself. Figure it out. Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic drug that is similar to morphine and heroin, but is 50 to 100 times more potent. That would be the same stuff that's being brought in by the mules, not to be confused with 2,000 mules, but the mules that bring drugs in across the Mexican border, our southern border, and our northern border, which is just a little bit north of Lake Wish I Be Gone. We're up there in the North Woods. And if I had a map, hold my beer, I'd show you the map. Which reminds me of a funny, I just read an article on Wisconsin is the most, I forget what it said, the most, we're the drinkingest state in the union, I guess. We don't really care. I put my earpiece in, I can hear what I'm not talking about. Yeah. Anyway, that's another story coming out of the AP lines. And of course, on the we're right here, there. From the Nobody Gives a Poop Rainbow Unicorn Poopy About file. Yeah, that we have these files here, you know, hang on. Yeah, we have these files here. Nobody gives a poopy. Geico must pay $5.2 million to a woman who got HPV from sex in man's insured car. Courts rule. Oh, man, I tell you got a news story. Send it to news at JustJimShow.com. We'll try and put it on the air if it's possible. But, you know, talk about circling back. If this is an asinine, this is kind of, I'm going to call this show the asinine show, because in an opinion, in Missouri, a woman got $5.2 million after she caught HPV from unprotected sex with her then boyfriend in his insured automobile. A state appellate court ruled. Now, we talked many times about getting judges, the correct people, into the court system. Can I just say it so that just shit doesn't happen? Yeah, y'all got to remember, this is not a child-friendly show. The woman identified in court papers only as M.O. from Missouri said that she engaged in unprotected sex activities in the insured's vehicle in November and December. Not once, but twice. And three strikes and you're out, they say. And that he negligently caused or contributed to her catching the human papillomavirus, HPV, a common sexually transmitted infection, court papers said. After Geico turned down her claim, of course, I'd turn it down too. I don't know what village idiot. What Patriot wouldn't turn that down. Mo took the matter to an arbitrator who found in her favor before a court affirmed the $5.2 million judgment. Geico appealed, claiming it never had a chance to contest the claim. But Geico did have the opportunity to participate and defend its interests, including the ability to challenge liability and damages by entering a defense of insured, quote, according to the appellate court opinion, which puts the word did in bold italics. The insurance company has no right to relitigate those issues now in appeal, the court said. What do you mean they don't have the right to appeal? Don't you have the right to confront your accuser? I thought that was part. Oh, wait a minute. Got one right here. I thought it was in this little book here called the U.S. Constitution, that you have the right to confront those who accuse you of something. Obviously not. Well, that's another whole story. We'll go there in a little bit. The company based in Chevy Chase, Maryland, said in a statement Thursday that the case will ultimately be settled in federal court. The federal court papers, Geico has said it never had any responsibility to defend the boyfriend, identified only as MB, because it should be on the hook only for damages coming out of the ownership, maintenance, or use of the auto. In other words, the vehicle's covered use did not cause MO allegation injuries. Instead, her injuries arose from an intervening cause, namely her failure to prevent the transmission of STDs by having unprotected sex. A choice. People have choices. And obviously this bimbo only saw the choice of getting money. Like I said, you can't stay up late at night and think this shit up. There's another quarter. Because it just, and every day it's just on and on and on it comes. And hang on, I got one more here from this pile. And this one you all better be very aware of. Sig Sauer. If any of you don't know the company name, go look it up. Is sued over what critics say goes off by itself. A pistol made by Sig Sauer and sold to law enforcement and civilians alike is prone to going off without the trigger being pulled, a defect that has led to dozens of injuries over the past several years, U.S. Army veteran alleges in a lawsuit filed Tuesday. A veteran said his holstered Sig Sauer discharged while he was going down the stairs, causing a serious leg injury. The model number is a P320. And Sig makes great guns. The lawsuit, which was filed in Philadelphia. Wait a minute. Oh, the city of brotherly love. There must be a batch of judges in Philadelphia that probably shouldn't be on the bench. Yes, that's me. I'm not a lawyer, but I got common sense. And I'm telling you that if all these lawsuits keep showing up as being started in Philadelphia, we have some problems in the city of brotherly love. The P320 is, quote, is the most dangerous pistol for its users sold in the United States market, the plaintiff's lawyers alleged in court documents. George Abrams, a 53-year-old Army veteran and painting contractor in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, said he holstered his 320, put it in a pocket of his athletic pants, and zipped it up before going downstairs. All I did was come down the stairway, and there was a loud explosion, and then the excruciating pain and bleeding. When the bullet went through his right thigh, exiting above the knee. Abrams said fatigue, spasms, and numbness are among the lingering effects 2 years after the shooting. He finally found a lawyer and a judge to take the case, I'm thinking. Abrams' lawyer said the Army forced changes in the military version of the 320, but the non-military version, owned by Abrams, remained defective even after the gun maker launched a voluntary upgrade program in 2017. I just don't even want to go on. I'm very torn on the process. I don't know the process that Abrams went through before he got shot himself. But yeah, there's a protocol, and not knowing if that protocol was followed or not would lead me to believe that I don't buy that the judge should have accepted this. I didn't read the papers, the filing papers, and I just, I'm dumbfounded, and you should be too. If you're listening to this stuff, you should be dumbfounded by the things that are going on in our judicial system and the things that are not going on. I got a couple of them here. I got a couple articles here. This is from the it kind of goes into a number of this one here. Yeah, a couple of different stories. This is out of Roswell, Georgia, not Roswell, New Mexico, which is there this spring. I was hoping to get picked up and by the little whatever the heck men there are there in Roswell. But mother gets a weird feeling, checks live video of her son's preschool classroom and catches teachers. Now, I had the video, and it was my classroom video was captured. I can just describe the incidences and tell you that I did see the video part of this, and it's very alarming-ish. I'm going to qualify it by saying ish. But it goes to the everyday practice of what's going on in daycare centers, preschools, even in high schools. I can't say it any plainer than that. It's what's going on is crazy. 2 preschool teachers were arrested and charged with cruelty to children after a mother of a student in the Roswell, Georgia preschool classroom caught the teachers on live video allegedly abusing other students. Gloria Bargy told WXIA TV she picked up her phone last Thursday to check on her son using the live video feed inside the Parker Chase preschool classroom. Now, if any of you have young kids, the new daycare thing is that parents have these daycare centers and preschool centers have cameras all over the place. They probably got more than I got around here. And parents get a password. They can log in and they know what their child's schedule is. If they're in the nap room or they're in the lunch, the snack room or whatever it is, the toy room, the reading room. And you get on your phone and you log in and you see what's going on and where you've entrusted your child to, which is the big point here, that you're entrusting your child as in from preschool to grade school to junior high to high school to college. A parent is trusting that the institution they drop their child off in has an obligation. It's spelled out in state statutes with a little license they hang on a wall. It says, we'll have due diligence in caring for your child. So anyway, I told my husband, I said, I got a weird feeling. I've got to check on our son. And she recalled the situation. Call it mother's intuition. And baby, if you've never dealt with mom's intuition, you're not aware of your world. Moms and dads have those things in the back of their heads, and they're called eyeballs, and they got a gut, and they act most of the time on what they feel, just gut reactions. I wanted to see if he was okay, so I picked up the phone. I pulled up the app. I picked it up right when the lead teacher was assaulting the first victim. Now, and in the video I saw this teacher or person, I don't know if she's teacher or not, but this person was on her hands and knees as the kids were sitting in a semicircle, and she leaned in. I can't get that close to the camera, but I'm going to tell you, her face was, 2 inches, maybe 3 inches in front of this child's face. WXIA said video shows students ages 2 and 3, so they're young, they're children, sitting on a rug when one teacher approaches a student, kneels, and gets right in the student's face. And yes, there is a YouTube video. Go check it out. The second teacher then walks up from behind, and I'm going to say that if my memory serves, this old memory serves me correctly, there was a burqa on her head. I'm just saying, throwing that out there, just a thought. steps on another child's hand, and then uses her knee to shove the back of the students who's face to face with the first teacher. Yes, that's what the video shows, but videos are not, they're just suggested. They're just suggestions. They don't mean anything. They don't record anything of value. Come on. WXIA said Margie and her husband, Brant Duncan, raced to the preschool, checked on their son, demanded to see the entire video of what they had just seen live, and then viewed it. It was intentional. It was thought out. It was malicious, Bargy told the station. These are defenseless little kids. And yes, they are at that age, impressionable beyond a reasonable doubt. They're told to sit in a semicircle on the edge of the rug. They go sit down on the edge of the circle and they do whatever they're doing. And 2 or 3 years old. Wait a minute. What did I say they were? Yeah, they're about that age. I go back and check. Anyway, these young children, they're told, this is your teacher. This is the person who's in charge of your life until I, parent, come back and pick you up from this location. You do what this teacher says. And if, in fact, there's help wanted signs up all over America, perhaps the people that are hired aren't worth the salt or the powder to blow them away. You want to talk about motherly love, saving the world, and teaching your kids the best that you can teach them. When you're in somebody's face 2 inches away from it, 3 inches away from the edge of it, and you're saying something, I am not a special needs teacher. I didn't have special needs children. So I don't know the standard bill of fare that a teacher might have to use in order to communicate. Let's listen up here. With someone who may be autistic or in special needs. But the thing, there's no audio on it, so I didn't hear anything the teacher said. But this person walking up behind that child and using her knee to push the child forward towards the teacher kneeling in front of that child is absolutely, while it may seem supportive of whatever the situation is, absolutely uncalled for. That is absolutely uncalled for. And I hope to God these parents, I think the article goes on, they were arrested, cruelty to children. They were 19, Soriana Biceno, 19, for cruelty to children in the first degree. Ziena Al-Lastawani. Welcome to what I said before about the burqa. Fulton County Jail records accessed Thursday show that Al-Lastawani was released Wednesday, presumably after posting a $75,000 bond. That means $7,500 out of pocket. And the other teacher remained behind bars. Oh, I guess if you read the whole story, you'll know what I'm talking about. WSB said Briseno was not given bond due to the fact that her asylum and immigration status was at issue. Oh, well, now there you go. We hired somebody out of the goodness of your heart, showing love for your neighbor. I'm surprised. Was it in Philadelphia? Showing love. We'll hire these immigrants, these poor people that don't know what they're doing, and they're in a new country. So let's put them in charge of our kids. Yeah, why not? Put them in charge of the kiddies. They won't object to being abused. They won't object to centuries of inbred thinking. Not at all. I'm telling you, I'm going to get booted right off of YouTube. But that's the truth. You cannot You cannot trust centuries of indoctrination in a matter of a month in an internment camp and then with a relocation because they just don their native dress, their native thinking and way of life. And guess who gets the results? Our kids, America's children. You wonder why the hell we're going down the wrong path? Oh, let's see if I can find this picture. Well, okay, we're going to end. Where did I go with that other article? Hang on. No, I don't have it. Okay, I'll just play it. On May 10th, excuse me, let's see. I'm gonna switch you over and you can read along with me here. There we go. This is coming out of MSN for whatever it's worth. A Merrill father and son are facing a combined 43 felony counts in connection with alleged sexual assaults while they worked at a worship center in Langley County. That would be in Wisconsin, folks. That would be in Wisconsin. Land of the home and brave and free. And here, hold my beer while I go sexually assault some kid. Scott Hoos, 64, faces 1 count of child enticement, 4 counts of first-degree sexual assault of a child, and 7 counts of second-degree sexual assault of a child. His son, Travis Hughes, 42. Hey, like father, like son. It runs in the family. He counts 23. He faces 23 counts of first-degree sexual assault of a child, 6 counts of child enticement, 1 count of second-degree sexual assault, and 1 count of sexual assault of a student by a school staff. I can't make it up. The stuff goes on and on and on. What is the problem here? Here is a related video. Utah sex offender who became a local church leader convicted of sex abuse. Oh, what's that word? Again. Yeah, again. Here we go.
Saints.
Michael Davis has a history of sex crimes here in Utah, including in Davis County. And now he's been convicted of sexually abusing a child from his church ward, where he's working in Minnesota. Thanks for joining us for 2 News at 6 tonight. I'm Mark Cabell.
And I'm Heidi Hatch. Jeremy here.
Yeah, I got to ask the $1 million question. He was in Utah. Now he's in Minnesota. Does that remind you of anything that used to be done and may still very well be going on? The Catholic Church, the priests, the President of the United States, Sniffin' Joe, just move around. You got fair game everywhere you go. So if we get busted over here, well, let's go over there. I'm telling you, you want to hear blood boiling? Listen to mine.
Is joining us live tonight from Temple Square, the church headquarters. And Jeremy, what is the church saying about this tonight?
Yeah, well, Mark and Heidi, in a statement, the church told me it has zero tolerance for sex abuse, and members who abuse children can lose their membership in the church. They say when they found out about the allegations against Michael Davis, he was immediately pulled from his role in church leadership, but some still question how he ever got that role in the first place, considering his history here in Utah. Not hard to find Michael Adam Davis's criminal past. He's on the sex offender and kidnap registry for sex crimes he committed here in Sunset back in the mid-2000s.
There you go. And you have church leaders who, how hard I gotta say that the inmates are running they're running the show. You have an institution that's supposed to be comforting, secure, a place of safety, and those people can't even go check a resume from another state or another community that this person says that they've come from, and they want employment. They want to become involved in a community. Why in God's green earth doesn't anyone check registries? That's what they're there for. God, stupidity. I can't tell you. The village wood ticks. They're all over the place.
But Davis eventually moved away from Utah to southern Minnesota, where yet again he was convicted of sex crimes. In this case, he was found guilty of abusing a teen boy he met at an LDS ward, where he was serving in a ward leadership role known as Elders Quorum President. Court records say he groomed the teen boy with video games and gifts.
You're calling a sexual offender into the second highest position in that congregation.
Sam Young founded a group called Protect LDS Children. He's a former Mormon bishop who says the church isn't doing enough to keep kids safe from predators.
It doesn't shock me when you don't have the proper protocols in place to protect the kids.
In a statement, church leadership in Minnesota told KUTV that Davis was not serving and has not served in any position in the congregation associated with youth or children. When leaders learned about these allegations, Davis was immediately removed from any position in the congregation.
Yeah, we call the sexual offender into the second highest position that, well, you know what? He really didn't have anything to do with kids. He did have things to do with the kids. Look what he did.
Young says this case clearly shows the church needs to do more to prevent sex abusers from moving around the church.
Give me a break. You don't want sexual offenders in the church. They made a gigantic error, but it's an easy error to fix. Just make sure you do a background check on everybody that is called into leadership positions.
Whoa. Yeah, well, I gotta say that if that person's in a leadership position, where are the communications between that person, who is obviously very upset that his peers haven't done due diligence? And I do not know. It's across the board. God, Catholics, Latter-day Saints, Mormons. It's crazy. Hey, if you got a story, send it in. We will try and put it on the air. And I appreciate those stories that are coming in. All you letters, all the letters from you boys and girls. I love it. And with that, I have to take a commercial break, and I will be right back. America. I knew I wasn't talking. We're talking about Nancy Pelosi and RuPaul. Yeah, her tireless fight for freedom, as well as her infamous condescending clamp for former President Donald Trump after his State of the Union address in 2019. My honor to be here, quote unquote, to say all of you how proud we all are of you. Pelosi told all winners drag race contestants. Thank you for the joy and beauty you bring to the world. Asked to share words of wisdom, Pelosi encouraged people to vote in the upcoming midterm elections. And she said, thank you so much for the work you've done and the work you continue to do tirelessly for our freedom. Your tenacity is something that we all look up to, said host RuPaul. Back to Nancy Pelosi. Now, here's one of the contestants, Raja Gemini, season 3 champion, praised Pelosi's now infamous sarcastic clap at President Trump in 2019. Quote, we throw the word master class around here all the time, but that's sarcastic. Shady clap you do was effing epic. Raja gushed. It was completely unintentional, Pelosi responded. Yeah, right. Unintentional. Pelosi, you don't do anything that's unintentional. We have prayers in our hearts to keep you strong, RuPaul added. And she made headlines on Friday when she snapped at reporters saying nobody is in danger over the weekend. What do you mean? Nobody's in danger over the weekend. She obviously has never been to Chicago, has she? And there you have it. Court justices and their family last week when an armed man apparently went after Brett Kavanaugh, referring to that. And on the Glenn, is this out of Beck? I can't see. Yeah, it's out of the Blaze staff. On the Glenn Beck radio program, guest Bill O'Reilly reacted to how Pelosi and other Democrats in Congress seem so uninterested in protecting our Supreme Court justices. Just had to get something off his chest. And it, as interesting as it may be, or not to some of you, I think on Glenn's program yesterday, a senator, is it from Utah? I think it was. Anyway, he commented on the clip that Joe Biden had the balls to come out and say that he didn't mind if people went to justices' houses to protest, and like melted butter on toast, the senator immediately quoted the constitutional statutes, can't talk right now, that said or say that commentary, we're talking about terrorist activity, that commentary where the president says, I don't care if you go, that's what America's been made from, that it was legal, and it was not. As the U.S. statutes state, it is illegal for you to promote that activity, much like other congressional leaders going out years in 2016, was it 15, when they're out running around telling people, you protest them in the grocery stores, in the gas stations, this place, that place. It's why are we making noise here today? We're making noise. Anyway, you can't do that. That's not your job. And I've talked and continue to talk about job codes. When you go to work, you have a job code. The job code isn't wide open. It's very specific. And the Constitution, this little suggestive book is what lets people know what it is they're supposed to be doing. Not just, well, we're just going to go do what we want to do. That's the young woodtick way. Now, most people don't call them woodticks, but they are. And they call them liberals, socialists. Now they're calling them communists. And I was doing that 2, 3, 4 years ago on the show. And I kept getting eyebrows from people. The old eyebrow goes up. What are you talking about, huh? What are you talking about? They're frickin' communists, socialists. There's a fine line between the two of them. Progressives, a rose by any other name, which is part of one of these other stories that's coming up here. And that it leads to the constant rhetoric that I dish out regarding the English language. It is very specific. If you say black, you mean black, not white or red or blue or green. It is what it is. I went to the store. It's very descriptive. Anyway, until, of course, you're a progressive and you're caught with your pants down around your ankles and you cannot describe or talk your way out of, around, or circle back to what you said earlier that makes any sense to the people who are listening. And here's the story. Sudden adult death syndrome. What the hell is that? Sudden adult death syndrome is the new name for vaccine deaths in the medical establishment's play pretend reality. June 10th. Natural News is in an attempt to explain away the rash of deaths occurring in otherwise healthy seeming adults who got vaccinated for the Wuhan coronavirus COVID-19 by any other name. Oh, that's right. Some people, I got to say, my tongue in cheek, around here, we eat wet bats all the time. Can't wait for our next batch of bats to come out that we can eat. The medical establishment has coined a new term called sudden adult death syndrome, or SADS, that it is pretending appeared out of nowhere with no explanation. Sudden death syndrome in children, infants, we know what that is, but we don't, because we don't know what it is or what causes it, we gave it a name. Much like sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS, which was also made up out of thin air to explain away infant deaths caused by vaccines, SADS is being called a mystery condition that could strike anyone at any time for no apparent reason. We just need to have a name to put on the death certificate. But hold that thought. Didn't the government pay XYZ dollars to people who had COVID-19 on their death certificates as a cause of death? I'm just asking. So I guess they knew, or no, they used to know what caused that death. People under the age of 40 are now being told to go to their doctors immediately to have their hearts checked, as they might have a hidden case of SADS. I got my appointment in July. The condition could be fatal, we're told, and is an umbrella term to describe unexpected deaths in young people, according to the Royal Australian College of General Practitioners. So this is coming from the land of down under. Anyone of any age, even if they seem healthy, could be at risk, we're told, but no differentiation is being made between people who took the jabs and people who left their natural immune systems alone, which is the real kicker in all of this. If you leave it alone, what the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? I'm not sure, but that's kind of sort of what I'm talking about. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, they never admit to it, but the sudden rise in SADS directly coincides with the unleashing of Operation Warp Speed, which has turned hundreds of millions of Americans into deadly spike protein factories. But protein's supposed to be good. These spike proteins are ripping apart their cardiovascular system and leaving them prone to early death. Now, this is coming out of Daily Mail, UK, naturalnews.com. And I got to say that tongue-in-cheek, could be some tongue-in-cheek information here. I'm sure the fact checkers over on Facebook and everywhere else coming out of the White House will fact check this. A surviving spouse, I take some comfort in that she went in her sleep and knew no pain, and I'm grateful for that. I always worried about the kids driving the car, but never saw this coming. So this was a child that went on her way. And the insanity goes on and on. We just make up some crazy names for the stuff that we know or didn't know about this thing called CV-19 and its variants. Now, on the same note, the World Health Organization, oh, Lordy. I'm dumbfounded. The World Health Organization officials will meet in an emergency session next week to evaluate the international outbreak of monkeypox and determine whether the virus should be considered a global health emergency. Then that means you have to stay home. You got to stay home and watch TV. They will also rename the virus. We can start from ground zero here if we just rename it. Give it a new name, we'll start from ground zero. So they're going to rename the virus after scientists, whoever qualify that, raised concerns that the name monkeypox is racist. Huh? Do you believe this? Do you believe that? Scientists, PhD, doctor, whatever else is behind their name. WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom, I can't even say it, said Tuesday the UN Health Agency's Emergency Committee will meet June 23rd to discuss the outbreak, which he called unusual and concerning. For that reasons, I've decided to convene the emergency committee under the international health regulations next week to assess whether this outbreak represents a public health emergency of international concern. The WHO Director General announced that there have been more than 1,600 confirmed cases and nearly 1,500 suspected cases of monkeypox reported this year from 39 countries, including 7 countries where the virus has been found before, and 32 newly affected countries. 72 deaths have been reported from previously affected countries. No deaths have been reported from the newly affected countries, although WHO is seeking to verify news reports from Brazil of a monkeypox-related death there. So monkeypox related. It's kind of like COVID-19 related. It's, well, we get paid some money, so we'll just add COVID-19 to the death certificate. And I'm going to show you a picture here of what monkeypox looks like. Right there. That's what monkeypox looks like. Yeah. And if you look at this headline, WHO experts say monkeypox outbreak may have emerged from sex at 2 different European raves. Now that's dance studios where people are getting poked with needles. Wait a minute. 2 + 2 equals... get back to me on that. WHO's goal is to support countries, contain transmission, and stop the outbreak with tried and tested public health tools. Tried and tested health tools. Stay home, watch TV, don't go out, and we'll send you a check. That's tried and true. Oh, my God. And isolation of infected people. They're not patients, just they're people. They're not patients yet. Now, according to this other article over here, yeah, this is right here, coming out of Blaze News. David Heyerman, an infectious disease expert for the World Health Organization, has said that recent monkeypox outbreak may have emerged via sexual transmission at 2 European raves. Hyman told the Associated Press that raves in Belgium and Spain have become the leading theory in tracing back the disease's latest spread. It's very possible there was someone who got infected. This is quote unquote right there. Developed lesions on the genitals, hands, or somewhere else and spread it to others when there was sexual or close physical contact. Then there were these international events that seeded the outbreaks around the world in the U.S. and other European countries. That's what they're saying. 2 men had, but it's many of these global reports of monkeypox cases are occurring within sexual networks. So it's the underground networks of sexual contact for whatever behavior the underground sexual contact thing is all about. But it's funny that that it doesn't go outside of those. Now, those are the facts coming in from the World Health Organization experts. I can't say it any plainer than that. Now, the United States, I said this maybe 3-4 shows ago, has recently purchased billions, or was it millions, of smallpox vaccines. Now, I don't smallpox, monkeypox. I'm not real sure what the hang on, I gotta find my where'd it go? It's here somewhere. What did I get rid of it? I wonder. Huh. I'll look for it. Take a break and I'll look for it and play it for you. While smallpox vaccines are expected to provide some protection against monkeypox, there is limited clinical data and limited supply. Because we bought a whole bunch of them. And I'm going to guarantee you, mark my word, mark this conversation right here, right now, that Sniffin' Joe, if monkeypox starts popping up all over the place, since we have the smallpox vaccine in the United States, we're going to start to give it away. We'll give you 1 million doses or 500,000 doses, whatever it's going to be. Mark my word. He's going to play the savior on our tax dollar back. The Director General added that the WHO is working with partners and experts from around the world on changing the name of monkeypox virus. It's clades and the disease it causes. Why? More than 30 international scientists. This is, instead of working on a vaccine or the end to this monkeypox, 30 scientists around the world got together and saw no bigger duty than to write a letter that says we have an urgent need for a non-discriminatory and non-stigmatizing name for monkeypox. 30 scientists, they don't have anything better to do than write a letter saying, well, we got to change the name. How ludicrous is that? A WHO spokesman told Bloomberg that the organization's guidelines recommended against using geographic regions and animal names to describe disease-causing pathogens. Tedros said the name changes will be announced as soon as possible. Can you, the World Health Organization has nothing better to do than change the name. We won't want to talk about where the Wuhan lab was, but we'll put it into the cause of a bat that people eat from a wet market. 2 years ago, that's all they could say. It wasn't in Wuhan. It came out of eating habits of human beings. And now we have to change the name of monkeypox. This is so upside down. You have to laugh. It's beyond ludicrous. I can't say it any plainer than that. Is this, that's, I can't wait to get to that one. Yep. And of course, I don't have the story in front of me, but Sniffin' Joe decided to write letters to the petroleum industry CEOs yesterday, I think it was, and demand that they up the production of crude oil or gasoline. And if they didn't, that they got to answer for why they're not producing. And God, I'm just racking my brains trying to think of who shut the sons of bitches down. It's somewhere. I'm going to come up with that name and who shut them down. But now he's claiming he's going to use the War Powers Act like he did for solar panels production of solar panels. He's going to use the War Powers Act. And the lead in to the story was with using the term war, he and his staff writers, village idiots that they are, decided to send a letter to, I can't see this. Hang on, I still need to do this. And it's here somewhere. I just don't know where it is. Hang on a minute. Yep. I can't find it. It ticked me off. That's that. Okay. Anyway, sorry, I'm searching for something here that I wanted to play. Maybe I can find it quick if I take a quickie here. Let me just take a quickie here. I know it's here somewhere. 2 seconds, folks. I'm right here because it's... nope, that's not it. Nothing there either. Silence is not golden, I know, and I'm sorry about this. It's not. Yeah, it should be in there. It's not. It should be, but it's not. Yeah. Nope. And I can't find it. And I don't know why. I had it on my desktop. Don't know what I did with it. And I'm sorry for this. So I'm gonna 2 seconds. I gotta look. All right, I'll just put that over there somewhere, and then I'm gonna do. Yeah, this is not. Oh, the pup is out. I hear the pup. I hear, yeah, there it is. I knew I had it here somewhere. I'm going to put it over here. All right, there it is. Yep. All right, folks. Now, and with no. Goodbye. Ding dong. Yeah. So here, when I talk about the village idiots, wood ticks, I want to show something to you that is definitive, and it has nothing to do with race. Or anything else like the World Health Organization just talked about. We village idiots are village idiots. Purple, pink polka dots, they are what they are. And they absolutely all suck the green weenie. A couple of seconds here, about 8 minutes, whatever. Watch this. This is from West Africa. It doesn't take long. It doesn't take long at all. When I talk about village idiots, that right there is the prime example of what I'm talking about. The village idiots are running the show. The court jesters are right behind them and playing into their hands. Sniffing Joe. That's exact. You want to know what's going to happen to you over when you go to Saudi Arabia? Kind of sort of that. They're going to play your sorry ass. You're going to bend down and you're going to kiss their ass. And maybe you'll come up with something. But at $110, $115 a barrel, they're now sponsoring golf tournaments, tennis tournaments. Mexico had the audacity, not the audacity, but the ability to run the Mexican Open golf tournament from an awoke GSR, GS, whatever, openly claiming that that their corporation is going to make environmental and economic change as they give away top prizes to golf players. And guess what? Golf players, tennis players are no different than anybody else. They're going to go to where the money is. And America is being left behind. And all you village idiots and court jesters that live and die by these online and televised sporting events, you know, you're going to get exactly what you deserve. Because, there, you got an earplug hanging down my leg. You are falling into the I live vicariously through XYZ, professional sports. And no, life is not grand. This is the crap that goes on. Right there. They got their comeuppance. Monkey with an AK.
Hey, lady, your bike, don't come to the bike. Hey, no.
Somebody thought they had sense. Don't give it to them. Had he just aimed a little higher. I love it. Watch this. Yeah, you betcha. King. I'm king right there. I am king. Oh, my God. That playing out says it all. This is America right there. Elect people to office that don't know their ass from the hole in the ground. There's a quarter. And let them rule the roost. That's exactly what happens. The gun control issue, excuse me, and everything else that's going on today. And with that thought in mind, we're going on to this one right here. Yeah. Where is this? There it is. Out of Fox News. This is Fox News yet. You're supposed to be enamored by Fox News as one of the last holdouts. You want to know something? Maybe not true. Let me just play it for you.
Alex, Christine, when you're a business owner, taking a stand on a controversial topic can be dangerous. This right here is a perfect example of that. But the business owner stands by her decision. At Shelter Hope Pet Shop in Thousand Oaks, the angry, threatening calls keep coming in.
Discouraging gun ownership. Commies like you deserve to go out of business.
The emails in the thousands are jamming the inbox.
What the heck? How do we stop this?
All because owner Kim Sill is asking this question on the pet.
Oh, God. Pet shop faces threats after adding gun control question to their adoption form. June 13th, 2022. The owner of a Thousand Oaks pet shop is facing death threats after adding questions about gun control to their adoption application and barring NRA members from adopting rescues. Is that not discrimination? Hello, you got cake makers that don't want to make a cake for a gay couple, and they get ordered to pay a shithouse full of money in a settlement. But she, in a rescue session, says if you're an NRA member, how the hell are you going to know? You have to fill out the form completely? I don't know. But if that isn't discrimination, I don't know what is. A Shelter Hope pet shop in Thousand Oaks. Angry, threatening calls keep coming. Get the hell out of our country, psychopath, said a man who didn't leave his name. Emails in the thousands are jamming her inbox. All because owner Kim Sills is asking this question on the adoption application. How do you feel about gun control? Honey, I hit what I aim at. That's good gun control. The trouble began when Kim sent out a newsletter supporting gun control and announced her private rescue shelter would stop adopting out animals to anyone opposing gun restrictions. See? So she's not discriminating. Oh, yeah, she is. I believe that you should be 25 years old before you should have the right to buy a gun. So she now is like taking over for Nancy Pelosi, Schumer, and all the libtards that want to take away your, wait a minute, your suggestion box. That's right. She still says responsible gun owners wouldn't necessarily have a problem adopting a pet at her shop, but NRA members are not allowed. She obviously doesn't know about the other 500,000. Oh, wait a minute. One other stumbling block to gun ownerships, to taking away a right. California, we're a dog rescue. We're a nonprofit. There you go. Hide behind your tax shelter and then decide that what it is you're going to do. We get to choose who gets these dogs, she says. No, you don't. By that criteria, you don't. Trial attorney Fissett said still not breaking the law by refusing to allow NRA members to adopt her rescues. NRA members are not a protected class. She's not discriminating on race, religion, or gender, and this is something she's allowed to do under the law, and this is her way of speaking out. The reason Sills feels so strongly about gun control because her sister was shot and killed. Plus, Sills briefly met the man who committed the mass shooting at the Borderline Bar and Grill. A few months before he killed all those people at the Borderline Bar and Grill, he came here for some community service hours. It ended up not working out because he was not willing to follow the rules. Okay, so what did you do? He didn't follow the rules, so what? You didn't let him give his community service to you. Excuse me. And so you let him go. You didn't allow him to complete his community service. Guess what? There are laws and rules and regulations for those who violate these rights. Because somebody doesn't follow the rules doesn't mean you take away the right or ban the gun. And I'm talking specifically gun. You won't join my lawsuit. I lost my niece to a drunk driver. I want to sue Goodyear, BF Goodrich, and the Ford Motor Company because they made the vehicle that killed my niece. Where are you there, Sills? When the thing happened in Uvalde, I said, okay, if I can do one tiny thing in my world of animal rescue, it will be to say how I feel, and this is how I feel. Do something. And that is the cry that's not heard around the world. Something. The word. The English language, something. Anything to make me feel better. Not to follow the rules and the laws of the land. Just something. We already have rules and regulations. We don't have judges that have balls. That's the point. We don't have DAs that have balls. I looked at Waukesha, Wisconsin this past Christmas with a bunch of grandmas dancing down the road, singing praise of the Lord during a happy holiday time. Noogle. Just run them over. We don't care because we have a DA that allows somebody to walk out of jail for what, $500? I don't remember what it was. It wasn't enough. And with that, just put that in your pipe and smoke it. I can't say it any plainer than that. Shortly, the holiday season's coming up, and I'm going to get my new barbecue system out. Excuse me, not COVID. I am going to get my barbecue trailer out, and we're gonna have some barbecue. Yeah, and you're not invited. And with that, yeah. This is going back to the monkeypox, renaming the monkeypox outbreaks. Here's where it sits with the U.S. map and the case count and the what's going on is with the. Do we have any? We don't have any in Wisconsin. We got a couple in Texas, huh? One case in Texas. What it says. Illinois got 8 cases, but somebody just said they were scared of the weekend. Yeah, they should. 8 cases of monkeypox in Illinois. And then we get all of those people coming up here in the Northwoods and spending their weekend. I'm going to have to ask all of my local libation places, are they testing for monkeypox? They test for COVID. What's our health departments doing? Illinois, Ohio, 1 case. 2 cases in PA. 15 in New York. Dance on, boys and girls. Florida, probably 5. Yeah, 2. How about Washington? 1. California, 15. Same as New York, wasn't it? Yeah, New York. 1 in Utah or Arizona. 2 in Utah. 4 in Colorado. Oklahoma. I'm going to tell you, it's, and again, this now is coming in through the CDC. These numbers are not going to be correct, as they're not going to be correct in the stated crime situations across the country. There's been a very large dose of non-reporting of crimes in every state in the union. So the crime labs will not be able to adequately predict law enforcement, et cetera, if they're even LEO is still even around. This to me is kind of sort of, if I have it, yeah, here we go. Coming out of Fox 6 News out of Milwaukee, realtor unveils new rules for buying a home in today's market. And I'm going to tell you that if you have bought or are about to buy a property in today's market, I personally think you're nuts, because you're going to be upside down in 6 months. And you may not be able to keep your property. The number, here's a chart right there. Number of days on the market in the past 3 years. Uppy, downy, at March of 19, a little over 60 days. Right now it's sitting 30 to 40 days. Interest rates are climbing. Man, if you got a mortgage in the 2 or 3%, you have to be smiling ear to ear. If you now are buying a property, you're looking at, I saw some charts, they might even have it on here. The mortgage rates here, 5.62 with a $8,000 fee to get the loan origination going. 5.7. 5.7. It seems to be where everybody's going. Anywhere from $6,000 to $8,000 to start your loan origination fees, and your payments are somewhere in the $1,200 to $1,500 range a month. Now, it's not taxes and escrow or anything, or it's just P&I. And I think the realtors are now, after a heyday of making tons of money, because all they had to do is say one simple thing. Well, you have to bid higher than what they ask because you won't get it. This between the scarce housing inventory, scarce availability of houses, and the so-called prepared to buy people, a realtor now unveils the new rules for buying a home in today's market. And buying a house is not what it used to be, and there's some new rules to home buying. It's coming out of Tucson, Arizona. And I have some personal experience down in Arizona with some land. Visit Credible to compare mortgage rates and or find out what your credit rating is. Now, I'm going to tell you that there's some subversive credit rating scores out there. And they're telling you now to get your mortgage financing in order before you shop. The old rules: find your dream home, then finalize your mortgage paperwork. The new rule is lock in a mortgage before you even start the search. Monthly mortgage payments surged 38% annually this past March, a couple months ago. That if you buy a house the old way, the house is probably going to be gone by the time you get a loan. And search for houses, this is what he's saying. Search for houses listed below your ideal sales price. The old rule was shop for a house you can afford. The new rule, shop for homes priced below what you can afford. Despite signs of cooling demand amid rising mortgage rates, homes are continuing to sell for much more than what's advertised on the listings. About half the homes sold above list price in March, according to the real estate brokerage firm Redfin. So do some research, determine how much home you can afford, then ask your real estate agents to show you homes that are underneath your maximum purchase. Be prepared to make an offer the same day you tour a home. Tour a home, tour a property, then take a day or two to decide, and then make an offer. That was the old way. The new way is if you see something you like, put together a smart, competitive offer ASAP. Yeah, I'll take it. No contingencies, quote unquote. And that means no inspections. You take it at face value. The house is what it is. It's standing. It's not caving in. You have to be semi-aware of what's going on in the real estate business. And then submit your most competitive offer first. Offer below asking price and wait for the seller to counteroffer your bid. That's the old way. The new way is put your big number out there from the start. And then don't lose hope if your offer isn't accepted. Expect to buy, this is the old rule, expect to buy a home after submitting one or two offers. And the new rule is you might get rejected multiple times. So, and I love this because this is a mortgage loan company. Have finance-related questions and don't know who to ask? Email a credible money expert at moneyexpert@credible.com, and your question might be answered by Credible in our Money Expert column. And that's what money experts are telling you to do. You want to know something? Money experts don't know shit. And another quarter. I don't... if you're not awake enough to see exactly what is going on, perhaps you shouldn't be a homeowner. Rumors are having it that no one will own anything by 2030. And there's certain validity to that commentary. If you take a look around at the prevailing market, everyone seems to be vying for your dollar at whatever cost that turns out to be for any product. out of curiosity, I was at the depot the other day. I needed to buy a chipper shredder for the yard, and I couldn't believe what they were going for. And as I walked through, I ended up at walking through the appliance department. And I'm like, God, I hope my refrigerator lasts for another 5 to 10 years. I got a friend who fixes appliances, and he's good at it. Y'all need to know people like that they know what the hell is going on in their world. They specialize in certain things. Get to know those people. And I'm not talking a new car. I'd love to buy a new truck. I ain't spending $100,000. Not happening. Hell, I can live in that. Yeah. People buying $2-3 million homes that are worth $50,000. That's so far over my pay grade. And maybe people need to start saying that. You know, you go to work, you save some money, blah, blah. And now they're saying, well, because of the price of gas, I can't save any money. Well, maybe you elected the wrong people. Maybe you got the wrong people. A village idiots running a show that they what is that? Oh, that. Okay. And with that, wow, I went out a little overtime today, which is fine. We got stuff to talk about. I got more to talk about, but I'm just not going to go there. Well, I will talk about this. We'll close out with this one. In Madison, Wisconsin, Governor Tony Evers is calling a state legislature in for a special session on June 22nd to repeal a decades-old Wisconsin law that would take effect should the Supreme Court strike down Roe v. Wade. Breaking, I'm calling the legislature into special session on June 22nd to repeal Wisconsin's criminal abortion ban. With SCOTUS poised to overturn RVW, failing to protect the reproductive rights will have real consequences for each of us and the people who matter most. Now, have you seen the village idiot here from Wisconsin? Badger Back Better is his plan. You go to the government website, just type in Badger Build Back Better. And talk about a chicken little. Overturning Roe could have disastrous consequences for so many people we love and care about, our family members, except the one in your stomach. Our friends and our neighbors, who could have their ability to make their own reproductive health care decisions taken away from them. Evers said, "We can't wait for this decision to arrive on our doorstep. We must act now." Of course, that's the Badger Back, Build Back Better way. Here, hold my beer while I prevent this from happening. The Republican-controlled legislature has a history of not taking Evers' call for special sessions seriously. Over the last 2 years, they have gavelled in and gavelled out of such sessions with little to no discussion. That includes sessions on gun control bills and most recently a session on how to distribute the state's budget surplus, including a $150 rebate for taxpayers, which brings me to a point of argument, and I call you all state legislatures on the carpet. You have such an excess in Wisconsin's tax dollars that I'm going to say each and every one of you should be called in for criminal behavior in office. If you have people working on your staff to set budgets, I'll throw a figure out $1 million for fixing potholes, which never mind. And that department comes in under budget year after year after year after year. But year after year, you increase that $1 million budget to $1.2 million, to $1.4 million, to $1.6 million, and then raise this flag of, oh, look at all the money we've saved you. I'm going to call you a damn liar. You haven't done your job. The people on your staff haven't done your job. You're taxing without proper representation or knowledge. If you don't know what you're doing, get the hell out of office. There are people who know how to budget far better than any legislator sitting in office. I'm telling you, I'm calling you out, Robin Voss, the rest of you. Darling, the rest of you. Supposedly conservative. We're conservative because we have millions of dollars in the slush fund. That's slush fund for what? The day Chicken Little comes along? That's a crock of crap. Yeah, I just can't stomach this shit anymore. There's a quarter. And I swear like a drunken sailor. Why not? Because that's what we do in Wisconsin. Last month, a leaked draft of the Supreme Court decision was released, and the rumors running around rampant about when it is in the order of decision releasing this case will come out and be released. And the general consensus in my circles are it's going to be the very last thing. So the Supreme Court justices get the hell out of town. Release it. Don't release it first. Release it last. That'll probably be the way it'll go. The end of the month. Wisconsin, that bill means a bill crafted in 1849 would go back into effect, outlawing the practice statewide with no exceptions for rape or incest. That's just the way the law read back then. And it will kick back in, as it will in many states, just the opposite, that it never was illegal in certain states. But I predicted before, and I'll do it again, right here, right now, that states will start to, or the federal government will start to subsidize the travel expenses, housing expenses for citizens to go from one state where abortion is illegal to another state where it is legal. And that's, it'll be states' rights at that time. If RVW were to get overturned, I don't know. I don't know what to expect. We'll see what summer will bring. And it'll be a long, hot summer if it goes over. But I'm going to say that, burning down a town is fine. Hell, look at Minneapolis. Okay, look it out in Seattle. It doesn't matter. They're just suggestions. Don't start a building on fire. Don't take over a city block. Well, let alone 2 blocks. I'm telling you. You see a sign right over my shoulder here? It says, dogs welcome, people tolerated. I'm going to tell you, that's pretty appropriate. And with that, I got to say adieu for the day. It's been an hour and a half of pure bliss, bringing you the news that nobody else talks about. And it all does affect us. Hey, if you got a story, send it in. Email address is on the screen. If I like the story, we'll talk about it. If it hits my XYZ perspective, I'll talk about it. Ain't that way. I can't do that. There it is. And with that, it's about time to say good night. Yes. Have a beer. Be good to each other. I got to get rid of that. That's not appropriate. Yeah, it is. With that, I haven't played this in a while, but I will. And be good to each other. God bless. Be good to each other, because when it's all said and done, all we have is each other. Agree to disagree going in. And understand exactly your perspective, but be open to new opinions. There are some things you can change, some things your heart will never let you vary from, but that's okay. That's the way life is. Agree to disagree. It is what it is. And with that, goodbye till next time. Have fun.
I remember a teacher that I had. Now, I went through the 7th grade. I went to the 7th grade. And I left home when I was 10 years old because I was hungry. And I used to, this is true. I work in the summer and I go to school in the winter. But I had this one teacher. He was the principal of the Harrison School in Vincennes, Indiana. To me, this was the greatest teacher, a real sage of my time, anyhow. He had such wisdom. And we were all reciting the Pledge of Allegiance one day. And he walked over, this little old teacher, Mr. Laswell was his name. Mr. Laswell. And he says, I've been listening to you boys and girls recite the Pledge of Allegiance all semester. And it seems as though it's becoming monotonous to you. If I may I recite it and try to explain to you the meaning of each word. I, me, an individual, a committee of one, pledge, dedicate all of my worldly goods to give without self-pity. Allegiance, my love and my devotion to the flag, our standard, Old Glory, a symbol of freedom. Wherever she waves, there's respect, because your loyalty has given her a dignity that shouts freedom is everybody's job. United. That means that we have all come together. States, individual communities that have united into 48 great states. 48 individual communities with pride and dignity and purpose. All divided with imaginary boundaries, yet united to a common purpose. And that's love for country. And to the Republic, a state in which sovereign power is invested in representatives chosen by the people to govern. And government is the people. And it's from the people to the leaders, not from the leaders to the people, for which it stands. One nation, meaning so blessed by God, indivisible, incapable of being divided, with liberty, which is freedom, the right of power to live one's own life without threats, fear, or some sort of retaliation. And justice, the principle or qualities of dealing fairly with others. For all, which means, boys and girls, it's as much your country as it is mine. And now, boys and girls, let me hear you recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Since I was a small boy, 2 states have been added to our country, and 2 words have been added to the Pledge of Allegiance: under God. Wouldn't it be a pity if someone said that is a prayer and that would be eliminated from schools too?